you know, he's got a pretty clean ethical record.
We're going to hear a lot about it nonetheless. Matt, while we're on the subject of Donald Trump, he held an interesting news conference yesterday. After giving his big convention speech, he lashed out not at Hillary Clinton, but at Ted Cruz. Let's take a listen.
I like Ted, he's fine. Again, I don't want his endorsement. If he gives it, I will not accept it, just so you understand. If he gives it, I will not accept it. Won't matter.
Smart politics or diversion?
I tell you, anytime Donald Trump starts with, I like you, and it's fine, you know what's coming next, which is a knife that you're about to get. Yeah. I think this is just purely another example of Donald Trump, his inability to stay disciplined and stay in a structure. He gave a teleprompted speech that went at a long while, very direct to camera, very well done for a lot of the Republicans, and then he goes off in this diversion. But one thing we've learned about Donald Trump, it doesn't seem to matter. He seems to be able to do these things and stay very tight in a very competitive race with Hillary Clinton. Time and time again, it doesn't seem to matter. It's interesting. And John, let me ask you one last question, this time about the Democrats. Yeah. Tell us about these emails that were released by WikiLeaks, hundreds and thousands of emails with Democratic officials making fun of the presidential run of Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, this is perfect timing, isn't it? 20,000 emails that got hacked into, Russian hackers put out by WikiLeaks. This is a very bad timing. The big problem here is you see the Democratic chairman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and her top aides basically ridiculing Bernie Sanders and making it clear what side they were on during that primary. I wouldn't be surprised to see her, as a result, booed when she takes the stage in Philadelphia by those Sanders supporters.
Right on the eve of the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia, where both of you will be this week. Thank you for getting up early on a Saturday morning, gentlemen. Yeah. We really appreciate it. Want to remind everybody, we're going to be bringing you Clinton and Kane's first appearance together as the Democratic ticket today at noon Eastern. Plus, don't miss our convention coverage all week long, starting Monday, right here on ABC. Paula, over to you.
Thank you, Dan. And now to our other big story this morning. There's a fast-moving brush fire in Southern California that has devoured thousands of acres, fueled by scorching temperatures. This fire is on the move this morning. Hundreds of people have already been forced from their homes, and ABC's Philip Mena is right there on the ground for us in Santa Clarita. Good morning, Philip.
Paula, good morning to you. About 300 firefighters are working this fire right now. And all night, LA County helicopters have been dropping water on it, but still no containment. And this morning, evacuations are underway. Overnight, walls of flames lighting up the Southern California skies. The sand fire in Santa Clarita burning 2,500 acres. The blaze forcing hundreds to evacuate from their homes. And this morning, it is 0% contained.
They gave us a voluntary evacuation, and then shortly after that, they gave us a mandatory evacuation.
This fire truck battling the flames along the 14 freeway near Los Angeles as cars come perilously close. From the ground and the air, video shot inside this LA County fire chopper capturing the daunting task.
8 helicopters, 2 fixed wings flying today, and we do have some flying at night.
Over 300 firefighters combating the inferno, 1 injured in the fight.
Our concern is, making sure that the fire, we can control it any way we can.
This, one of 10 currently burning across the state. Fanning the flames, a brutal heat wave with triple-digit temperatures, bone-dry conditions, and winds exceeding 20 miles an hour. This fire is flaring up on the hottest weekend of the year here, so firefighters have a long day ahead of them. Dan, Paula?
Thank you, Philip. And this fire is blamed on a heat wave that's sending temperatures soaring from coast to coast. We are feeling the scorching heat in every state nearly. And Rob is live this morning with more on the extreme conditions. Hot out there this morning, Rob.
It certainly is, Paul, and I can't recall a time where we've seen this sort of expanse of heat across the entire country. Now getting into the Northeast, where heat advisories and warnings are up. This will likely be the hottest and longest heat wave that the Northeast has seen in 3 years. So dangerous stuff here that will last well into next week. And the central part of the country, extreme heat warnings. Again, the humidity really building here, and this has been going on for a week as well. And there you go for the Southwest, where the fire danger is high, heat advisories and excessive heat warnings, especially in parts of the valley. But it's the heat and humidity across the central U.S. that really is going to crank heat indices, what it feels like, well up and over 100 degrees for today, for tomorrow, and for Monday as well. So if you are working or playing outdoors, pace yourself, drink lots of water, take frequent breaks, or just go back inside, which is what I'm about to do, Dan. We'll see you in a few.
Come back in here, Rob. Thank you. Now to that developing and disturbing story out of Germany. The teenage gunman who killed 9 people in a shooting rampage at a shopping mall. This morning, authorities are saying that this does not appear to be terrorism related. And ABC's Alex Marquardt is in Munich, Germany with much more. Alex, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan. That's right. That shopping mall right back there. The police speaking just a short time ago saying, as you said, that this young gunman had no apparent ties to ISIS, but he did appear to try to lure people down here by hacking into a Facebook page and writing, "I'll give you something if you want, but not too expensive." German authorities this morning with new details on the young man who opened fire at the Olympia shopping center on Friday evening. They now say all signs point to the 18-year-old German-Iranian who was born in Munich as being the lone attacker who killed himself after murdering 9 others, most of them teenagers. He was a student, and the police say there's no evidence to connect him to ISIS or any other Islamic extremist group. This morning, the police raiding the apartment where the teen is believed to have lived with his parents. In his room, articles and a book about school shootings. Just before 6 p.m. on Friday, outside a McDonald's at the shopping center, he draws his weapon, a pistol, and starts firing, seemingly randomly on passers-by. Then, in another clip, the suspect paces the rooftop of a parking garage. He then raises his gun, appears to take aim, and fire.
There were people running towards us. They were panicking. They were in shock.
The city quickly put on lockdown as heavily armed police swarmed and sealed off the area around the shopping center. Parents holding their children close, families running through the streets. People told to keep their hands in the air as they were evacuated. Shattered car windows and a body covered in a sheet as paramedics arrived on the scene to treat the wounded. The city's public transportation system shut down. Residents told to stay in their homes because of initial fears that there were 3 gunmen who had escaped.
People were confused. Nobody really knew what was actually going on.
This horrific attack coming on the heels of another just days ago in Bavaria when a 17-year-old Afghan stabbed passengers on a train with an axe and knife, apparently inspired by ISIS. And the at least 84 dead in the Bastille Day attack in the French city of Nice, a 31-year-old Tunisian mowing people down in a refrigerator truck in an attack claimed by ISIS. Back in Munich, a fuller picture, but the exact motive for what drove the attacker to kill so many in cold blood is still unclear. Since there appears to be no political motive, the terror investigation has been shut down as the city tries to get back on its feet. They hope to reopen the mall soon, and now the public transportation system is back up and running. Paula?
All right, Alex, thank you. And to talk about the gunman and how he got his hands on those weapons, we want to bring in ABC's crime and terror analyst, Brad Garrett. Brad is also a former FBI agent. Brad, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And Brad, we just heard from Alex that officials officially are shutting down the terrorism investigation. So what gives officials reason to believe this wasn't terror, and any idea what may have inspired the gunman?
No, I mean, we've heard that he was depressed, Paula. My guess is he's another kid that falls into this category. He felt powerless, he was angry, he was full of rage. It's interesting he used social media because I think he did that to attract people about his age to the McDonald's, so he would be basically shooting his peers.
Yeah, his victims, mainly teenagers. We know that he had a semi-automatic handgun. Germany's gun law is incredibly strict, much like France. So the question, how did he get his hands on these weapons, Brad?
It's a huge black market throughout Europe, Paula. It's how they got the guns into Paris, into Brussels. So the idea that you can buy ARs, AKs, semi-automatics is just not that difficult if you know who to contact.
All right, still so many questions. Brad, thank you for joining us this morning. Dan?
A horrifying story. A lot of other news this morning, though. For that, let's get it over to Ron Claiborne. Good morning, sir.
Hey, Dan. Good morning to you. Paula, Sarah, good morning, everyone. We begin with the arrest of 3 Florida men charged with conspiring to join ISIS. Federal prosecutors say 52-year-old Gregory Hubbard, 31-year-old Dane Christian, and 50-year-old Darren Jackson, all from Palm Beach County, had plans to fly to Syria to join ISIS. The FBI reporting that the men also talked about attacking the White House or the Pentagon, but had taken no actual steps to do so. If convicted, they could be sentenced to up to 20 years in prison. And a Washington State man wanted for the murder of his next-door neighbors was captured in Mexico. John Reed is his name, and he was taken into custody Friday in the town of Sonora. He was last seen in April when he was suspected of killing Patrick Shun and his wife Monique Patanaud, reportedly over a property dispute. Reed is now jailed in Arizona awaiting extradition to Washington State. And the first of 3 officers killed in that targeted attack against police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana last weekend has been laid to rest. Thousands turning out for the funeral of rookie police officer Matthew Gerald, Gerald, who had joined the force earlier this year after serving in the military, including 3 tours of duty in Iraq. Funerals for the other 2 slain Baton Rouge officers will be held today and on Monday. And 3 WNBA players, teams and their players are being fined for wearing Black Lives Matter T-shirts during warm-ups at recent games. The league levying the $500 fines against the players on the Minnesota Lynx, New York Liberty, and Phoenix Mercury, while assessing each team $5,000. The WNBA said the shirts did not comply with the league's uniform guidelines. And new developments about the Zika virus here in the U.S. New York City reporting its first case of a baby born in that city with microcephaly, an abnormally small head. Related to Zika, the mother was apparently infected abroad. And that comes as Florida health officials investigate 2 cases of Zika infection that they say may have been contracted from mosquitoes in the U.S. And finally, a Russian balloonist is claiming a new world record this morning for making it around the world in just 11 days. Fedor Konyakov has landed back in Australia in the town of Northam, where he started his journey back on July 12th, breaking the record held by American Steve Fossett, who did it in 13 days, and that was in 2002. How many days did it take Phineas Fogg to do it in the Jules Verne novel?
180.
Oh, Phineas.
80. 80.
You were
Close.
You were 100 days
I was
off.
thinking
Phineas Fogg,
mathematically.
yes.
180.
Yeah.
Anyway, in an amazing feat that is almost as amazing as making around the world in 13 days or
Close.
whatever. Rob Marciano just got back. Ran in, his tie is cinched. How are we feeling?
Well, I'll tell you what, I
Still
forgot that
breathing
on the weekends the back door isn't open. Is this yours? Thanks.
Take a deep breath.
I'm
We
going
made
to
it
tell you
from
what's in
Central
there.
Park all the way back into the studio. That was quite a job.
And an extra block. Anyway, nice
Hot
to
out
be
there?
with you guys. It is toasty, but cooler in here. Let's show you what's happened yesterday across parts of eastern Washington. Look at this shot. 2 tornadoes near Spokane County and Douglas County. Haven't seen that since 2004, and this one is a beauty. No real damage to speak of, so good news there. The other piece of video we want to show you is in Boston, where we had a decent amount of wind last night, 60+ mile-per-hour wind gusts there, just outside of Boston, and doing some damage. All right, where we're going to see the severe weather today will be across the northern plains, up and over the top of this ridge, where large damaging winds, maybe some hail as well, isolated tornadoes, same areas that really been getting hit. The good news is it's cooling them off at times a little bit, but the ongoing threat has released some flash flood watches for North Dakota, parts of Wisconsin, and also Minneapolis. But south of there, it's really going to continue to bake, so try to stay cool today. Whew. Let's quick check on your national outlook. Here now is your local forecast.
Good Saturday morning from the Stormwatch 7 Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Ryan Miller. We have a heat advisory up for today. The area is shaded in orange from 12 p.m. till 8 p.m. Watch out for outdoor activities. Feels like temperatures exceeding 100 degrees at times, and we're going to be in the upper 90s this afternoon. Look for an afternoon or evening storm, about a 20% chance of seeing some storms. Tomorrow, a dry day, 97 degrees, very hot once again on Monday, a 30% chance of storms, and that storm chance will continue into Tuesday.
Did someone turn down the air conditioner? By the way, overnight temperatures in the cities might not get below 80 degrees, which is the threshold when Ron Clay